Hey everyone, it's Keely here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for another soap making video. Today I am going to be making another one of my Patreon design soaps. So every month over on Patreon I ask my members to give me some suggestions for a soap based on some criteria. For this month's soap I asked them to list some different techniques that they'd like to see me make a soap with. And the one that we drew out of the soapy bucket was from Kim, who runs Hippy Dippy Soap Girls, and I'll leave links to her business down in the description box. And she suggested that I use the shaper tools. Now I had a fragrance oil that I'd got in from Nurture Soap and I really wanted to use it, and I thought that this technique would fit in perfectly. So today we're going to go and make our strawberry cream cake soap. Let's go! Today's soap is all about sculpting and making layers. The fragrance I'm going to use is this sugared strawberry from Nurture Soap. I placed an order, you may have seen in other videos, for some of the Trial by Fire and some more really red mica and some navy blues, and I decided I'd order a couple of fragrances. So I got this sugared strawberry in because it had really great reviews, and it's one of the very few strawberry fragrances that are meant to actually stick in soap. It smells really good. It smells like fresh strawberries, and you can smell the sugar in there and everything as well. It just smells so good. So I've got high hopes for this one. So hopefully it does work. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to make this look like a cake. My base layer and my third layer, so my first and third layers are going to be the same color, and I want it to be this real pale pink color. So what I'm going to do is, this is the oils for both of the layers, but to make sure that they stay the same color, I'm going to color my oil, then split it up for the individual layers, because in the middle I'm going to put some cream. So what I'm going to do to get this into a nice pale pink, I have just put in a bit of blush mica, and now what I'm going to do is put in some oil soluble titanium dioxide just to get that pale pink. We'll mix it up, see what it looks like, and see if I need any more in here. Okay, so I am really happy with that colour. I didn't put quite enough colour in at first, so it looked really washed out. So I added in a bit more pink, a bit more white, and I think that is going to be the perfect sponge colour. So what I'm going to do now that I've got this oil all the same colour is I'm going to go and split out my base layer, and then we will get that mixed up and poured into the mould. That layer is set up beautifully, and I am going to use this drip shaper, which I've had from off Wickedly Goods. I'll leave links down in the description box so you go and check out all the shapers that she has. She's actually got this on in a couple of different sizes, but I thought I would use this one for today. Going to use this end up here, so it's going to look like there is cream dripping down the side of the cake. What I'm going to do is I'll actually position the mold this way because I just find it a bit easier. I'm going to go in right at the very end, and I'm just positioning it so that the tip of the drip is right on the very top of my soap here. Not too bothered if it's not even, because this is meant to be cake. And I'm just going to pull that very gently towards me, and then once I get a bit of a build-up of soap, I'm going to scrape it off, and I've got a couple of little cupcake molds sitting off to my side, and I'm going to pop them in, all this excess in those. Alright, so that has scraped out beautifully. This is a really, really nice tool. There's hardly any sort of excess waste off this one like you can get with some of the other shapers, so that is really, really nice. And it has made a really nice smooth pass on that first go. So what I'm now going to go and do is get the soap ready for the next layer, and then we're going to get that poured on top. Alright, so I got pretty indecisive with actually making the inside of this soap. I knew exactly what I wanted on the inside. I wanted it to be a nice pink sponge with some cream, some strawberry jam and some more pink sponge on the top. However, I kind of underestimated exactly how much I was scraping off with the scraper. So I kind of ended up not having enough cream to go in there, and I'd already poured the red into the other white. So I decided, if you caught the vlog video that I did a little while ago, I actually did 2 different sorts of strawberries for this soap because I really wanted to make strawberries in my Pinky Seal mold, but I wasn't convinced that the cold process soap was actually going to come out of it. So as a backup, I made some other strawberries in an ice tray mold, knowing that they would actually come out. Thankfully though, the strawberries came out of the Pinky Seal mold, and I decided to chop up some of the other sort of strawberries so that it looks like there are chunks of strawberries in our cake instead. But I'm really pleased with how this is all coming together. I'm only going to put just a little dollop of cream on each of these, like just put a bit more. Not bothered if I don't fill these little cupcakes up. These are just kind of like a little bit of a bonus. We'll pop a little strawberry on those ones later. So I've got the cream piped on the top here, and these are the other little strawberries that I was talking about. So they're not 2 halves, but they were fairly big strawberries. I made this Pinky Seal mold. I will leave a link up in the corner so you can actually go and check out how I made this particular mold. But I did actually make it using real strawberries, and because it is quite a thick, heavy mold, I just wasn't convinced that they were going to pop out, but they have, which I'm really pleased about. And then I've just gone ahead and cut them all in half. I know when I go to cut this soap, some of these are just going to get a little bit chopped, but for the most part each of these soaps will end up with a whole piece of strawberry on them sitting on this cream. So I'm just trying to pick out some of the smaller ones. There were some big strawberries I got when I made this mold, so I'm just going to put one of these onto the side of each of these ones. And then I have also mixed up a little bit of the green frosting or green piping, and I am going to put the little leaves back on the top of these just so that they look finished and not like little hulled strawberries. So let's finish getting these along here. This fragrance oil, it really does smell really good. Tamara Jane keeps asking me about whether or not I have used this fragrance oil yet. She is an Aussie soap maker, and you really need to go and check her out over on Instagram. She does the most sweetest, adorable soaps. You think some of us put a lot of time and effort into our soaps, which we do, don't get me wrong, but what she does with soap is just magical. So go and check her out. I'll leave a link down below. Let me see if I can get that strawberry on there fixed up a little bit more so we don't lose it completely. But yeah, Tamara Jane was asking me because she was going to order it when she put in a Nurture soap order, and then she forgot, and she's been asking me ever since if I've used it and how it's gone. So I have now used it, and it smells really good. I wouldn't say there's no acceleration on it, but it does, as long as you work fairly quickly, you can get it into the mold. Really liking it. Now you can probably hear my dog crying in the background. There's also the boy across the road. He's playing with his car out in the street, and my little girl, she wants to go and play with him. I think hubby's out in the street as well. It's Saturday morning. Usually Saturdays I stay in the house and do a bit of admin work. But I decided today I wanted to come out and get this soap done. Well, I actually needed to get this soap done. It should have been done 2 weeks ago, but it's just been a couple of weeks where things were meant to happen and things never did just because of the weather. I was preparing for markets which got cancelled and then moved to the next week, and then you kind of, even though you've got all the work done for a cancelled market, there's still a lot of prep work that needs to go into it being moved again. And then sadly, because of the weather, that second market also got cancelled. But it does put me behind on so many other things when that happens, and one of those is my soap making. So Kim, there will be a slight delay getting this one out to you, but you will definitely get it in plenty of time before Christmas. And this one will also be ready in for early December. Really, really loving how that has come together. I am just going to give that another quick dusting with some more of that biodegradable glitter across the top, just to really make the cream and those leaves sparkle. We have also got my little cupcakes here. And I do have a couple of pieces of strawberry left, so let's squish them on there. We actually ended up with 3 cupcakes, so these will be a nice little bonus. We'll pop our little leaves. These are quite, because the soap actually looked like it was set up, and then the second I've moved it, it's thinned back out again. And that's one of those things when your soap looks like it is setting up, just give it a stir and it usually loosens it back up. But that's the problem with piping as well. The minute you start to pipe, it loosens it up. But it is giving me some really nice little fat leaves. And look at the mess I've made on there. Oh, I'll have to get that cleaned up once it's actually set. If I try and do it now, I'll make a bigger mess of it. We actually need a bit of sparkle on those, don't we? Let's do that. That is the little cupcake. That is super cute. And I'm telling you what, that is super hot as well. So hopefully the colours are going to pop on the inside of this soap. But I really hope I don't get glycerin rivers as well with all that titanium dioxide. Let me move these ones out of the way, and then I'm going to bring you down for a closer look. Okay, so here is the soap all done up. It is looking so super sweet, and it smells really good as well. I'm going to leave it sit here overnight. In fact, it will get left here for about 48 hours because we've got markets tomorrow. Then I will come back and we'll get it cut, and we'll take a look at what we've got on the inside. Here it is. This is our strawberry cake. It is sparkling and gorgeous. Love, love, love the colours. That end is looking really, really promising for when we cut open into this one. Going to get it lined up onto the cutter, but before I do, how super cute did these turn out? I am so pleased with these little cupcakes. These are pretty much going to get wrapped up and given away as little bonuses. I ended up with 3 of them in total. This one has got a couple of little air pockets around them, but they will be freebies, so anyone's going to be happy to get one of those, I think. The fragrance on it is really nice. What I'm really impressed about this one, it's quite a subtle strawberry smell, but it's not false. It actually smells like strawberries, not like a fragrance oil. So really, really pleased with how it is smelling. I'm getting cut through it. It's been sitting here a couple of days, but I'm almost through. And let's take a look. Alright, let's get this one off the end. We do have a couple of little strawberries that have lost little bits, but that is okay. That was to be expected. But that is a slice of our strawberry cake. That is absolutely mouth-watering. I love how that cream is dripping on through. This one has just the tiniest little piece of fresh strawberry through that strawberry jam. And you can see the mica line that I've put in here. It's quite interesting. It hasn't happened around the bottom titanium dioxide or the bottom drips, but up on the top here I can actually see that shadow line around the outside of the cream. It's really pretty cool because it really defines it from off of the sort of pink cake. Really, really pleased with how that has come up, and with the little strawberry on the top, it just looks like a yummy piece of cake there. I don't often actually see my soaps as cakes, like so many people say, oh, I couldn't use it because it just looks edible. I don't see soaps like that, but this one certainly is giving me those edible vibes. Really, really loving it. Oh, we've got a few more strawberry pieces on that side. Really, really love how these drips have gone in here as well. That shaping tool is so easy to use. Very, very little waste from off it as well, which is really nice with the shaping tools. And it's just so simple to use, and it gives really clear definition with just that one pass. Sometimes you need to make a couple of passes with the shaping tools, but as you saw, I only did one pass with them, and I've got really nice, clean, defined lines on here. And I love how, because she does them in so many different varieties of drips, I've ended up with 2 very different sort of sculpted layers there. and really loving this strawberry jam on top. I do have a massive air pocket in there, but I do have some little bits left over from the cupcake one that wasn't quite filled, so I will just fill those up with a little bit of that soap, and that will hide those little imperfections. So I am super happy with how this one has come up. Kim, your soap will be sent to you very soon. It will head off to the cure rack for 4 weeks, and then once it's ready, I'll make sure it is packaged up and sent through to you. So I hope you have enjoyed watching how I made this strawberry layered soap here, or this strawberry cake layered soap. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up, any comments down below, and until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you then. Bye.